Hey, it's Sydney, and welcome to my acquisition log of manga for July of 2023. So, first of all, I'm going to be starting with the new releases for this month. Starting off first with a handful of releases from publishers. We only got a volume or two from them. First of all, we have the first volume of Tier Moon Empire by J Novel Club. Then we have the first volume of If My Favorite Pop Idol Made It to the Budokan, I Would Die, Volume 1 by Tokyo Pop. Another volume, this is a single volume, A Hero in the Demon's Castle by Kuma. And then lastly for this small batch, we have Sumasaki no Koruzu by Aki Aoi, published by June. This is the same mangaka as Entangled With You, Garden of a Thousand Grasses, which started off the BL7C's line and got me interested in that artist. Next, I'm going to cover the Kodansha releases this month. First of all, we have Twilight Out of Focus Volume 2. Kodansha, of course. NSFW, lewd BL stuff. So viewer discretion advised on that. Then we've got Volume 4 of A Condition Called Love. We've got Volume 5 of In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, which I found out is extremely close to being caught up to the Japanese release, which I don't see happen too often, honestly. Next up, we have One Dance Volume 5. I think that's 5? Yes. Next, I'm going to cover Yen Press. Starting off with the oversized volumes, we have the final volume, which is Volume 4 of Monster and the Beast. Then we have Volume 3 of Touring After the Apocalypse. Next up is Shy Volume 3. It's getting really good, honestly, but reading log. Next up we have Why Raeliana Left the Duke's Mansion. Correction, Why Raeliana Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion. This is Volume 4. Yes, Volume 4. Next up, huge, big release a lot of people are looking forward to. The Summer When Hikaru Died, Volume 1. You can barely make out the numbers on that spine. No, I guess you can. It's just the blue and the white don't make them pop out that much. We do have a Yen Press that kind of slipped under the radar, which is Coffee Mood Volume 3. This was supposed to be with the Yen Presses, but I'm very unorganized. Anyways, next I'm going to do the Viz releases, which surprisingly not a lot of new Viz releases this month. We have Romantic Killer Volume 4, the final volume of this shonen series. That is not very good, but that's my personal opinion. Then we have Volume 4 of a good shonen series, Dandadan. And lastly, we have Volume 2 of Boys Abyss. No matter what you say about the story, the art and the cover just looks so pretty and striking. And then Square Enix, we only have one volume that came out this month for me, which was Soul Eater Volume 11. Next up, we have, I think this is all 7 C's and 1 Udon. So first of all, we have My Girlfriend's Child Volume 2 by 7 C's. Then we have I'm a Wolf, but My Boss is a Sheep, Volume 3. Next up is Ex Yakuza and Stray Kitten, Volume 3. This is the semi-final volume of the series. Next up, we have Crossplay Love Otaku X Punk, Volume 5. Then is Correspondence from the End of the Universe, Volume 3. I think this came out in June or so, but it took a while to get to the store I picked these things up from. Next up is Cinderella Closet, Volume 2. Then we have Yokai Cats, Volume 4. Really pretty colors on the pages here. Then we have X-Gender, Volume 2. This is the final volume. Like a lot of these own words, autobiographical manga, it's really sad. The artist has struggled through a lot. Next up, we have the first volume of The Dragon King's Imperial Wrath, falling in love with the bookish princess of the Rat Clan. I think this is only going to be a few volumes. Excited to see how it concludes, and I am also happy to learn that the artist for this is going to be doing the new edition of the manga adaptation of I never remember the name of the villainess manga that I'm thinking of. I'm probably gonna remember it later. It's the one with the red-haired girl. Wow, that's very vague. Anyways, it's airing right now this season. I'll probably remember it later. Lastly, for Seven Seas, we have semi-final volume of Barbarities, which is volume 3. Another volume in the Boys Love line under Seven Seas. And lastly, for new releases for me this month, we have Persona 4 Arena Volume 3. This is the Barnes & Noble cover. And then next up, I'm going to be covering a lot of legacy releases. So first of all, I'm going to just cover 2 that slipped into my new releases by accident, which is Devilman Grimoire 2 and Devilman vs. Hades 2. I want to read these, but I want to wait until I actually read Devilman vs. Crybaby, which is going to be a long way away. So next up, let's see. I don't really have a specific order for the legacy stack, which is stuff that I bought for July that wasn't necessarily a new release. So first of all, we have Not Love, but Really Delicious Foods. Not Love, but Delicious Foods make me so happy. This is by Fumi Yoshinaga, who is the author of What Did You Eat Yesterday and Oku, both of which I haven't read yet. Partner loves What Did You Eat Yesterday, so it was mostly a purchase for him, kind of for me. Next up, we have a chunk of volumes of A Terrified Teacher at Ghoul School. It's volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. I remember reading a bit of this manga at a bookstore, I think, and finding it pretty charming, and then on a whim I just decided to start slowly picking it up. Let's see. Next up, let's do Love and Heart Volume 1. I've heard this has a crazy yandere guy, and I do not see yandere guys a lot, so I'm interested to check that out. Next up, I finally got into Spice and Wolf Volume 1. Looking forward to reading that once I collect the whole series. Then we have 2 volumes of Magic Artisan Dahlia Wilts No More. This is kind of similar to A Sentence of a Bookworm in a way, but I read it on the whim at a bookstore, and I did really, really like it, so I decided to start trying to pick it up slowly. Next up, we have 3 random BL Sublime volumes. We have Coyote Volume 1. This one was also a pick-up on a whim. I was trying to reach a sale percentage at a store I was at, and I was in a huge rush, so I had to find something. But that looks good, and the art looks good in it, so we'll see. Then we have Given Volume 4. Classic BL that a lot of people seem to like. And then we have 10 Count Volume 4. Read the first volume of this and really liked it and wanted to check out more of it. And now for the next stack, let's see. We have volumes 2 and 3 of Asadora by Naoki Urasawa. Please ignore that noise. Next up, we have volumes 1, 2, 13, and 15 of Dorohedoro. I enjoyed the anime for this. We kind of stopped watching it because we watch anime during lunch, and it was a little too gory to watch during eating. But I really, really enjoy Die Dark so far, so it made me want to pick up the rest of Dorohedoro slowly but surely. Next up is a single volume release from Inio Asano, which is Downfall. Then we have 3 volumes of Rooster Fighter, which I've seen the memes on this, and it made me really want to check it out because it just looks ridiculous. And from what I've read so far, it is pretty ridiculous. Okay, we have 2 other volumes, My Hero Academia Vigilantes Volume 8. And then we have Black Torch Volume 1. This is mostly me wanting to pick it up for my partner because he's interested in getting the author's new series that's coming out, I think, this year, Love Gear or something like that. But this also looks good to me, and it's only 5 volumes. So next up is basically where a lot of my money went this month with manga. Everything else for my legacy pickups is Shoujo Beat. So first of all, I've got volumes 4 through 6 of Kami-sama Kiss. Really loved the first volume. Excited to read the rest of these eventually. Then we've got a kind of surprise pickup for me, which was, let's see. Oh, Dengeki Daisy 16 is also in here. This one was just a normal pickup. It got kind of slipped in among the others. So next up, we found volumes 1 of Godchild, 2 of the Kane Saga, 3 of the Kane Saga, and 4 part 2 of the Kane Saga in the bookstore's system. And I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3. All 4 of them have the original price of $8.99 back when Shoujo Beat and Viz in general was $8.99 before the increase to $9.99. So I am really looking forward to reading this. I'm almost completed with it. I just have to get the 1 volume of Kane Saga, but there's still a few left of Godchild. And big thing for this last month was the entirety of Otomen, which I saw most of this at the local bookstore I go to. It was used, and I thought it looked really, really good and decided to pick it up. And then I got the rest online. So this is volumes 1 through 18 of Otomen. This is a series about a guy who has a lot of very feminine hobbies, and he is basically trying his hardest to express his masculinity and repress his femininity because of a traumatic event his mother went through, which basically made her abusive. I'm just going to say that. And make him repress any aspects of his femininity because she would lash out at him if she saw anything feminine in him. Essentially, his father came out as a woman and decided to go work in the city and leave his family, which traumatized the mother and led her to start traumatizing her child. You know, early 2000s shoujo with problematic mother characters and questionable trans representation. Volume 10 here. There are 18 volumes of this series. The author, I believe, is also doing, I might be wrong on this, but I think Requiem of the Rose King, which I've heard is really good, but I don't like Shakespeare that much. I don't want to read Shakespeare when I'm reading manga, at least. So I'm kind of holding off on picking it up or reading it or watching it. But yeah, I've read a few volumes of Otomen so far, and it is fantastic. It is just a great early 2000s shoujo high school romance with a lot of fun characters. So, volume 17, and finally, volume 18. So, lastly, I'm going to be covering the new releases for my partner that he picked up, and the legacy releases that he picked up for last month. I think the angle of the camera is very different, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so first of all, we have the volume that slipped into the other part of the video. That's How They Got Reincarnated as a Slime, volume 22. Then we have Dark Gathering, volume 2. I'm reading this one as well. I really like it so far. Then we have Help, volume 4. Another one that I'm reading too. Next up is Kaiju number 8, volume 7. Then we have the final volume of the light novel of Solo Leveling, volume 8. Then we have Shadow's House, volume 4. Gosh, yeah, volume 4. Also reading this one. It is also great. Then we have Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan, volume 4. Next is Quality Assurance in Another World, volume 2. And lastly is Lupin the Third, Thick as Thieves, a best of Lupin the Third, essentially. And then the rest of what he picked up last month is legacy pickups, no new releases. So, actually, there was one new release in there that kind of slipped under. So, we also have Soichi, the hardcover story by Junji Ito. But then, the rest of it's legacy, I promise. Next up is, so we have volumes 1 and 2 of Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. I don't know how he's going to be able to find the rest of these, but I trust in him. Because it is, I think, Del Rey, and those are going to be fun to try and find. Now we have Doubt, Volume 1, followed by Secret, Volume 1, and then Judge, Volumes 1 through 3. He's been interested in this series for a while. Seeing them used at a good quality made him want to pick them up, I think. And lastly, for him, he also had a lot of a series that he picked up last month. So he picked up volumes 6, 10, and 13 through 20 of What Did You Eat Yesterday, the series I talked about earlier. It's a cooking series between two, I think they're gay. I don't know if they're bi or whatever, but two partners, both gay males. And they cook together. I don't know anything about the series. It's his series, but it looks cute as heck. And I'm definitely going to read it someday. Probably once he collects it all and once I don't have anything else I'm really wanting to read. I'll probably want to read it after I eventually read Elku too. And then volume 20. And with that, that's everything that my partner and I bought for July of 2023. I look forward to seeing y'all in the reading log video, and thanks so much for your continued support. Talk to you later.